Hi everyone, I am Adrienne Van Keren of Tai Chi Healing Energies. This lovely person sitting next to me is my assistant Walter. He is joining us today because we really want to demonstrate that Tai Chi is approachable and beneficial to everyone, no matter your mobility level. So Walter is going to show some seated modifications as we go through this, and he is also going to show, I'm going to say, the smaller modifications. If anyone that is watching this that's following along needs additional modifications for how these movements can fit you exactly where you're at, you are more than welcome to reach out to me at my website. I love making modifications, so please don't hesitate. Tai Chi has a lot of incredible health benefits. It can help to boost your immune system. It can reduce inflammation and reduce pain levels. It can help regulate your blood pressure, so if you have high blood pressure or low blood pressure, Tai Chi can be very beneficial for that, and it's also very stimulating for the mind and for the memory. Tai Chi is also unique in that it begins to unify the entire body, so it's a really great discipline in that it teaches the body or reminds the body how to work together again as one unit. So it's an incredibly wonderful practice, and we'd love to get started. I will say I'm not your average Tai Chi instructor. I teach more from the Chi perspective. Your Chi is your body's personal energy. In a perfectly healthy person, it is flowing along your energetic meridians with no restrictions. In the majority of us, we have a couple of restrictions that we need to work through and get moved out. So again, this Chi energy is your body's personal energy. It is stored or accumulates in the body in one of three locations. According to traditional Chinese medicine, which is one of the things Tai Chi is based off of, the Chi accumulates in the Dantians. We have a lower Dantian, a mid Dantian, and an upper Dantian. For my intents and purposes, we are going to work with that lower Dantian. It's located about 2 finger widths below the navel and about 3 inside. You're going to imagine this as a ball of swirling, twirling, glowing energy in whatever your favorite color happens to be, because that's fairly accurate to what it is. So now you have a little bit of the background information that you need to know to follow along with my particular teaching style. So to start off with, we are going to get grounded. Being grounded means that we are connected to the Earth's bioelectric frequencies. It's important to know that the Earth itself is a sphere that has electrical currents running through it, and it has amazing health benefits when we tap into those. So we're going to do so through the position of our bodies. We want to have our feet flat on the floor as best we can, whether we are standing or seated. We also want to make sure that the spine is nice and straight. We have our head lifting the body. An image that a lot of Tai Chi practitioners use is the image of a string connecting the head top to the ceiling or perhaps to the heavens. We also want to make sure that we're open and rounded through the joints. If our arms are down, it cuts off the flow of Chi, so we want nice, rounded through the joints. We're going to lightly tuck our tailbone underneath as well to help facilitate the ground and really plumb the spine up. I'm going to turn sideways just to demonstrate. That's the difference between standing like this and like that, just gently tucking the tailbone underneath. From a seated position, it's a little bit more difficult. It takes a little bit of practice to just gently roll those hips underneath without compromising the structure. So now that we're nice and grounded, I'm going to ask that we allow the arms to float up in front of us. The wrists lead the way. When they get to shoulder height, they're going to extend. Then we bring them back and allow them to float back down. So then again, the arms float up, they extend, they come back, and sink down. Do that again, trying to keep this motion nice, soft, and smooth. Now we're going to get that Chi energy involved. So typically speaking, Chi flows up the back and down the front. So as the arms raise, I want you to imagine you're pulling that Chi energy out of your Dantian and up the back, Allow it to go over the head and then fill the arms. Bring that back to the shoulders and return it to the Dantian. So again, pulling that chi energy up the back of the spine, over the head, fills the arms, bring it back and return it to the Dantian. I'm going to do this a few more times, trying to get into a nice, smooth flow with this. Keeping it nice, gentle, and relaxed. Tai Chi is all about beginning to slowly get the body moving together and working together. So we don't want to jump into it too much. So last time with this, we'll let those hands sink back down. Very nice. So we want to stay grounded as best we can. We're going to keep going with this gentle movement and stretching. This time we're going to have the hands come up the center of the chest, palms rotate overhead, and hands fall gently to the sides. And again, hands come up, palms rotate over, and the arms sink back down. So now we're going to get that chi energy involved. As the arms raise, feel the chi spread from that lower Dantian to fill the body. And as the arms fall, it returns to that Dantian. So here, as the arms raise, a nice stretch on the inside, and then this gentle return. A couple more times, just like that. Up, open, and down. Good. One last time. Very nice. This time, we're going to sweep the arms out to the sides and let the hands fall down the center of the chest. And again, arms come up and fall back down. Again, getting that chi energy involved, so as the arms spread, chi fills the body, and we return that energy to the Dantian. So again, nice, gentle, and relaxed. Two more times, just like that. Very nice. We're going to keep building on this and getting some more gentle movement. So once again, we are going to allow the hands to come up the center of the body. This time we let the fingers interlace, palms rotate overhead, and then we want to bend to your left, back to center, over to your right, center, and down. And then again, we're going to let the arms come up, palms rotate overhead, and then bend over to the left, center, right, back to center, and bring the hands down. Good. So Tai Chi is also going to involve some deep breathing. So as we do this again, now we're going to start to involve the breath. It's going to be, for this exercise, you're going to end up exhaling for a little longer than you inhale, and that's fine. There's a lot of health benefits to changing the breathing. So as we do this, again, we're going to let the arms come up the center. We inhale, so breathe in, finish that nice breath in, and then begin to exhale, bend over to your left, center, right, and relax, exhaling that whole way. So again, inhale, and then exhale, bending to the left, right, center, and down. Good. We're going to do this a couple more times, trying to get into that nice motion. So inhale, arms up, finish that inhale, exhale, bend to the left, center, right, return, and down. Very nice. One more of those. Inhaling up, exhaling, bending to the left, center, right, and down. Good. So if you need to, go ahead, take a quick break, kind of step that out, whatever you need to do, maybe shake the hips out a little bit. So what we've done now is try to get the body warmed up a little bit. The next thing we are going to do is a type of Qi Gong breathing exercise. Qi Gong means Qi accumulating or Qi building. So all of these exercises are designed to help us build Qi. So With this type of breathing, what I'm going to ask is that you practice embryonic breathing. That means that when we inhale, I'm going to ask that you gently pull your stomach in, and then as we exhale, we will let the stomach relax back out. This is called embryonic or reverse breathing because it's the type of breathing you did when you were a tiny little embryo. So again, as we inhale, we very gently pull the stomach in, and as we exhale, we let the stomach relax back out. We are not sucking in the gut or anything like that. We want this to be nice and gentle. While we do this, we're going to be focused on being grounded, embryonic breathing, and going through different movements of the body. There's a lot going on in this breathing sequence. Do the best you can, especially if this is the first time you've done it. So what I will ask is, again, you come to a nice, relaxed, grounded position. So again, feet are flat on the floor, the head top is lifting the body, that tailbone is gently tucked underneath. When I say hang, we're going to gently inhale, pull the stomach in, and at ha, we're going to let it relax back out. We want to stay as light on the feet as we can and keep the muscles and body relaxed. We will go ahead and start. So hang, inhale, pull the stomach in, the arms float up to the sides, and ha, exhale and the arms relax open. Then hang, inhale, pull the stomach in, arms cross over, ha. Hang, inhale, keep the wrists together, and ha. As you exhale, they separate and rise. Then hang, arms out to the sides, ha. Hang. On this inhale, we're scrunching in, and ha, very gently unfolding. Then hang, inhale, scrunch in, and ha. Hang, ha, nice big stretch up as we exhale. And hang, the arms come down to the sides, and ha. On the next inhale, you turn and look to your left. So hang, looking to your left, and ha, head back to center. Hang, turning and looking to your right, and ha, head back to center. Hang, looking left, ha. Hang, ha. Hang, ha. Hang, ha. On the next inhale, the arms float up in front. So hang, and ha. We drop our weight through the soles of the feet before bending over. Hang, nice and slowly coming up. Ha. Hang, ha. Hang. This time, allow the arms to cross gently in front, and ha. As you exhale, your left arm goes up. Then hang, arms cross gently in front again, and ha. As you exhale, your right arm goes up while the left arm goes down. Then hang, ha. Your left arm is up. Hang, ha. Right arm up, left arm down. Hang, ha. Hang, ha. On the next inhale, the arms are going to float out to the side. So hang, ha. Hang, the arms cross in front, and ha. Hang, again keeping those wrists together, and ha. Final exhale for that sequence of the breathing. As we went through that, if you're not familiar with it, you are likely thinking, what? This is way too much going on. That is perfectly normal, understandable, and has been what every student that has ever seen this breathing has said. The good news is the more we practice and the more familiar we get with this, the easier it is. One thing that you might not have noticed, and you might have, when I said earlier to be light on the feet, if you noticed as I was going through the breathing, I was unconsciously shifting my weight during certain times. Where you might have noticed that was simply when I turned and looked to my left, I shifted the weight a little bit over to the right. And then back to center, I was double weighted. Then when I turned and looked to the right, my weight shifted a little bit to the left. If you didn't find that for yourself, no worries. It takes a while to pick that weight shift up. Another place you'll notice it, maybe, is when the hands come up to float up in front like this. When one hand goes up as though pressing on heaven while the other presses down on earth, you're going to shift your weight a little bit to the opposite side, to the side that's going down. So in this case, my right hand is up and my weight is on the left. And then back to center. And then as my left hand goes up, my weight is on the right. So just kind of look for that yourself. Again, we're trying to really unify the body together. If you are seated like Walter is, what I'd like you to do when one hand goes up, I want you to gently bring that heel up. Yep, just like that. So again, look for the unification of the entire body. At this point, I've been talking enough, you're probably stepped out of your ground, so we want to take just a couple of moments here to make sure we all feel nice and grounded before we do this breathing sequence again. So check in with the body, make sure the weight is spread evenly through the feet, make sure the head top is lifting and that spine is nice and straight, and that the rest of the body is relaxed. We will go ahead and start again. Hang, ha, 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 hang, arms cross in front, and ha, as you exhale, your left arm goes up. Then hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, going to extend this a little bit, so hang, inhale, the arms cross in front again, and ha, left arm goes up. Hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha. A few more of those on each side. Hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha. On the next inhale, the arms will sweep up to the side, so hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha. Very nice. I hope that going through the breathing and elongating, especially this sequence, that little bit, allowed you to feel the flow of the breathing. Because that's exactly what we want that to be. We want this to be a smooth flow. Again, if you would like to do that again, highly recommend the Qigong breathing video that is on my website, and really practice with that type of breathing as often as it occurs to you. I will mention that you do not need to know the entire breathing sequence in order to practice the embryonic breathing. Anytime it occurs to you to change your breathing pattern in any way, that's going to have a lot of health benefits, including bringing more oxygen to the areas, improving brain function, and improving immune function as well. So please change your breathing pattern as it occurs to you. So the next thing we would like to do is a classic Tai Chi warm-up called the bear. This is more about shifting the weight back and forth than it is anything else, if you're doing so from a standing position. If you are joining us from a seated position, this bear is more about turning from the waist. And again, we really want to unify the body and have the entire body working together. So for those of us that are standing or seated, we want to make sure we're grounded as we go into this. So I'm going to demonstrate and ask you to observe first, and then we'll really get into what we're doing. So we're going to be shifting the weight back and forth and allowing one hand to come up to tap in front. We're actually tapping that dantian that I spoke about earlier. The other hand is open and tapping in the back. It is important to note that from a standing position, if I am weighted on my left side, I am tapping on my left side in front, like this. And then if I'm weighted on my right side, my right hand taps in front, and vice versa. When we're doing these, the focus is really on shifting the weight from the feet. You want to feel that nice reciprocation. If you're joining us from a seated position, then the focus, again, is going to be on unifying the body. We're going to extend the arms in front of us. When you shift your weight over to your left, that right heel is going to lift. And then back to center. As your arms shift to the right, that left heel comes up and back. So if you're seated, you really want to feel that turning from the waist. If you're standing, you are not turning from the waist. You are simply shifting the weight back and forth. So as you're ready, nice and grounded, begin to shift the weight back and forth from the feet, or turn gently in the chair. Do make sure as you do this, you keep your spine straight, your tailbone tucked underneath. And for those of us that are standing, we want to keep the arms nice and light. I will also say it is perfectly normal for these to feel backwards and weird when you first start them. The reason for that is because frequently our bodies are so out of balance, and we are consciously bringing the body back into balance with these bears. That's being done by asking the entire body, from those rooted, grounded feet to the loose, light hands to that head top, to really work together. Which again is where so many of these health benefits come in. We want ideally to keep this nice and relaxed. We don't want to overthink it. We don't want to become stiff by engaging the muscles. We want to keep things as relaxed as possible. We'll also make note, because everybody always asks me how many of these bears do I do. I'll tell you how to count them. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Ideally, it is asked that you work your way up to doing 500 bears at one time each day. I know that sounds like a crazy amount, but I will tell you that almost every student I've taught has sent me a joyous email when they get up to 500 bears a day, telling me how much more energy they have, how much looser their body feels, and more relaxed they are. I can tell you it frequently takes months to work up to that, so if you can start with maybe 20-25 bears a day, you are doing very well. Hopefully it's that motion, that unification of the body that you're really starting to feel. And then I will say, go ahead, come to a gentle stop with those, so just kind of wind it down. Good. Then as you need to, go ahead, take a small break, step it out, whatever you need to do. The next thing that we would like to do is a bit of a chi building exercise. So we're really going to see if we can get the sensation of that chi built, especially between the hands. So as with all things in Tai Chi, we want to make sure we're doing this from a nice grounded position. So just take a moment to make sure you feel nice and grounded in your stance, whether you are seated or standing. So spine is nice and straight with the head top lifting the body. The weight is evenly through the soles of the feet. What we're going to do is go ahead, allow the arms to float up in front of us with the palms facing each other. We're going to separate the hands and bring them back together. So we're going to get into a little bit of a smooth motion with this, just separating the hands and bringing them back together. I want you to pay attention to any sensations you might feel in your palms, especially as you do this. Any kinds of pins and needles feeling, buzzing, tingling, sensations of heat, anything like that is going to be your chi moving. You might also feel as though you are compressing air between the palms, or like the hands are magnets repulsing one another. As you separate the hands, you might also feel as though there's a string connecting them. You do want to make sure that your shoulders stay nice and relaxed and draped down as you do this. If you don't feel any of those sensations that I spoke about going on in your hands, perfectly normal. If you do feel those sensations, then that's wonderful. Again, this is something that comes in practice. So we'll do this one more time, and the next time the hands are together, I want you to see if you can define this ball. Give it a little bit of feeling, maybe a little bit of weight. This is your imagination, so let's begin to work it. Once we have this ball, just kind of take the hands, feel the outside of it. If this ball begins to get too heavy or puts too much of a strain on the shoulders, we're going to make that ball a lot smaller. So that's going to be the real modification with this. What I'd like you to do now, hold your ball with the palms evenly. We're going to go ahead, carry this ball over to your left. As you do so, allow your left arm to drop down so your right arm is on top. And then we're going to carry this ball back to center, the palms face one another, and then very slowly over to the right with the right arm dropping down, left arm on top, back to center, carrying this ball over to the left, center, nice and gently to the right. We just want to get into a little bit of a smooth motion with this, really keeping the entire body, upper body especially, relaxed, and even that lower body. We just want to get into a smooth motion with this. As you're ready, I want you to incorporate a weight shift into this. So what that will look like is when this ball is on your left, the weight's on the right. When you carry the ball over to the right, your weight shifts over to the left. And again, this is really working on unifying that entire body together. We will only find these weight shifts if we are relaxed through the legs though. So we want to make sure that they're not locked, they're nice and gentle as we move back and forth with this. And again, if this ball is beginning to feel a little heavy, or you're feeling that strain on your shoulders, then the alternative is going to be to make this ball smaller so we have less of a strain as we do this. So as with all things in Tai Chi, we really want to listen to what our body is telling us is the correct way to do these movements right now. So we're just going to carry this ball back and forth a few more times in both directions. So we want to make sure that they're very nicely done. We'll just go one more time to the left, one more time to the right, back to center. Now what I'd like you to do is go ahead, if you're feeling that buzzing, tingling sensation in your hands, that's great. We're going to rub those hands together to make sure we are really concentrating the chi into the palms. Now remember, your chi is your body's personal healing energy. You feel that warmth start to spread in the hands, that's your chi. Then what I'd like you to do is take this nice chi that we've accumulated between the palms and give yourself a hug. So take those hands, cup the hands to the shoulders, kind of thank the shoulders for that, allowing us to put that strain on them and carry that ball. Just kind of take a second, let the sensations underneath your hands register. You might be feeling heat, relaxation, a sensation of coolness. You're feeling none of those, perfectly okay. Then go ahead and relax out of that. See, I told you at the beginning, I'm not your average Tai Chi teacher. It's perfectly okay. The next thing we would like to do is a meditation. It's going to be a standing meditation and a moving meditation. It's going to look slightly different if you are in a seated position versus a standing position. So I'm going to use Walter to demonstrate bow and arrow stance from a seated position. So he is going to turn so that the side of the chair is kind of between the legs. He's extending, in this case, his left foot out, and this means that his right foot is set. So what that looks like from a standing position is if we are nice and grounded, for those of us that are standing, we are going to shift our weight over to our left, pick our right foot up, and bring it directly forward of where it is now. It's very important that we leave this nice space between the legs for stability. We do not want to step forward like this. If Walter was to push me, I would fall over because I have no stability. If my stance is more open, I have that stability, however. I'm going to turn to the side just to demonstrate the proper stance again. And it's very important, too, that the head top is straight and that that tailbone stays tucked. What we want to make sure we do when we're shifting the weight back and forth is keep the spine straight. We do not lean forward like this, and we do not lean back like that. That spine is straight, and the head top is lifting the body as we move back and forth. If it doesn't feel normal, it's okay. The more we practice this stance, the more it will feel natural. So at this point, we are in bow and arrow stance with our right foot forward, our shoulders are draped down, our spine is tucked underneath, and we are going to go ahead, let the arms float up in front of us. Before, when we were focused mainly on the palms, this time we're focused on the entire arm. So I really want you to feel that activation and that chi energy flowing back and forth throughout the arms as best you can. So if we are standing, what we're going to do is simply from the back foot, shift the weight forward and back. If we're seated, we're going to start off by turning from the side, just like Walter is demonstrating. So this is a very small motion, back and forth. The point behind this meditation is, again, to really work on unifying the entire body. So when we're doing this from that standing position, we're getting the feet involved. So when we're shifting the weight forward, we make sure we do so from the feet. The rest of the body is essentially along for the ride. So this is just a very simple back and forth meditation. Really feeling the weight drop down into the feet and just back and forth, nice and gently. Keep things nice and relaxed. When we tense up, we cut off the flow of chi. So even when we're doing this with the arms up, we're keeping it nice and relaxed. We'll just go a couple more times on this side. And then I'm going to ask that you go ahead, release this cauldron that you have made, and then step back. You need to shake it out for a couple of seconds, whatever you need to do. And now we're going to do the exact same thing, but the exact opposite. So again, if you're in that seated position, you're going to have your left leg as the one that's set, your right leg is straight. For those of us that are standing, we are going to shift our weight over to the right, step directly forward with that left foot. The back foot is at a 45-degree angle, and again, we want to check our stance. Make sure the tailbone is tucked, shoulders are draped down, and that the head top is lifting the body. And once again, we will let the arms float up in front of us. Take a couple of seconds here to really get in touch with the body and ask that you really feel that chi energy in your arms. And then we will go ahead and simply start shifting the weight front to back or turning from the side if we're sitting. Again, keep this nice and slow, really focusing on unifying the entire body together as we do this. And this is just a simple back and forth. If we're standing, the weight is shifted straight front to back. And if we're seated, the focus is on gently turning from the waist, keeping the arms nice and relaxed, and we really want those shoulders draped down. Don't want to put too much of a strain on the body. Just go a few more times here. Again, really looking for that sensation of the chi within the entire arms. So maybe one more time. Then as you're ready, go ahead, release that cauldron, and then step back. If you're feeling that heavy sensation on your arms, again, that is your chi moving. If you're not feeling that, that's perfectly normal. It's a practice and a learning curve until you get that sensation. So the next thing that we are going to do is the Chinese cultural facial massage. I think this is a very important part of Tai Chi practice. So what we're going to do is rub those hands together just like we did earlier to accumulate that nice healing, soothing chi energy between the palms. And we're really, again, looking for that sensation of the heat building in the middle of the hands. All of these rubs are going to be done in sets of 36. They are stimulating, vigorous rubs meant to bring blood, oxygen, and chi to the areas being massaged. Bonus, it's also going to bring collagen there, which is going to help reduce wrinkles. But before we start rubbing the face in those 36 rubs, we're going to take this chi energy, cup the hands over the eyes, and take this healing chi energy to the backs of the eyes. You're going to allow your eyes to feel as though they have a nice, warm blanket wrapped around the backs of them. Once that energy dissipates somewhat, then rub your face, in that up and down, vigorous motion, counting to yourself 36 times. Each rub up and down is one rub. Once we have rubbed the face those 36 times, the next thing we're going to do is rub around the ears. You can rub on your ears, behind your ears, in front of your ears. Again, really listen to what your body tells you is correct as you do this. Once we've rubbed around the ears, the next thing is a pull down motion along the sides of the nose. We are not pushing back up with this one, we are only pushing down, or pulling down, excuse me. After we've rubbed alongside the nose, the next thing is a back and forth motion along the jawline, but I'm going to ask you take a second to unclench that jaw, and then back and forth along a nice relaxed jaw. We don't want to rub this if we're so tense up and clenching the teeth. After that, we're going to do the throat or thyroid area, so 4 fingers on one side, thumb on the other, and up and down. We want to do roughly half of these 36 rubs with one hand and half with the other. We also want to take care that we keep the head's top straight and we're not lifting the head to elongate the neck. So we are doing this and not this. So that's one thing that's important. And because Tai Chi has to have an exception to every rule, the last part of the facial massage, where every rub is done 36 times, is a lower back massage that we are going to do 49 times. I'm going to turn my back on you just to demonstrate this. Please forgive me for that. We're going to start in a V shape, rub down towards the tailbone. We can use our palms. We can use the backs of our hands like this. We can use our thumbs like this. We can also use our imagination. That is especially important if you have achy, cranky shoulders that are not allowing you to get your arm behind your back. The last thing we want to do is put a strain on that. In that case, it's asked that you do essentially the best you can, and know that the more you do these massages, the more you do these gentle movements, these gentle stretches that we did today, the body is going to start to open up, and in time it's going to unify itself, begin to work together again. Often it's a slow process, but that's okay. We don't need to be in any hurry. We just need to take things slow and steady to get our health back. Thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. You now know basic grounding, some different stretches. You know the thoughts and the process behind embryonic or Qigong breathing. You have seen the bear warm-up exercises. You have also seen 2 meditations, this carry the ball back and forth, and also hold a jug and carry that cauldron back and forth. You've seen those self-massages as well. If you would like further information on anything that we have done today, please do not hesitate to reach out to me through my website, www.taichiavk.com. I am more than happy to help or work with anyone, and especially anyone needing additional modifications or needing to know how Tai Chi can help bring added stability to their life. Thank you very much.